In the gospel reading of today, we encounter the emotions of Jesus versus the emotions of his adversaries. The emotions of Jesus against laws that are imposed on people, and the emotions of his adversaries against Jesus' work, his healing work. The scene in the gospel is in a local synagogue. Once again, they are looking for evidence which they can use to convict Jesus. They were watching to see if Jesus would cure a man with a withered hand on a Sabbath day. Possibly this man was planted. It might have been a setup to use a sick person. And this is really despicable. And Jesus is fully aware of what is happening around him. And without fear or favor, he calls the men to come up and stand in the middle of the assembly. And his opponents are reduced to silence. We see Jesus' feelings. We are told that he was both grieved and angry at their stubborn attitude. Grieved because their attitude was inappropriate for people who believed they were close to God. Angry because of the terrible injustice they were prepared to impose on these men. In their book, no suffering justified breaking the law. But for Jesus, it is not a matter of keeping or breaking laws, but of doing good. He tells the man to stretch out his withered arm, and it is completely cured. The Pharisees, humiliated, immediately went out and began to plot with the Herodians. It's very interesting because the Pharisees and the Herodians were not close friends. The Pharisees followed the law to the letter. The Herodians were supporters of Herod the Antipas, the tetrarch of Galilee. They were to take action against Jesus. Yet, this strange alliance shows the extent of the anger of the Pharisees, a blinding hatred, an anger that is unjustified, an anger that leads people to form alliance even with their own enemies, people whom they do not agree on moral standing, and they tend to form alliances. What drives our emotions? Are we driven by love of doing good, or we are driven by anger and hatred? Today is a day to reflect on our own emotions, the emotions that direct our lives. What drives our actions? Is it to do good? Are we grieved or are we angered when we see injustice? Or we tend to hate, a blindfold hatred on those who do good? It's a day to reflect.